Diaries of a Madman. Chapter 188. Part 3 of 5. As soon as she did, something plowed into the snow next to us. "Release her, monster!" Cutie Dream cried. She was holding a squirrel. Before either of us could move, she threw the squirrel at me. Sick her. The poor squirrel looked just as confused as I was. He caught onto my blouse and I recoiled, but then he just stopped. After a few seconds of inaction, he shot up into my hair and seemed to huddle in fear around the back of my neck. That felt weird, but the more pressing concern at the moment was the insane Pegasus before us. Once I was away from Silver, Cutie shot a hoof out toward Silver, who thankfully jumped back. "Come with me if you want to live," Cutie shouted, grinning victoriously. "Bitch, I have had it up to here with your shit," I yelled, taking a step forward and lifting one of my hands above my head to show off my point. She firmly held her stance, but turned her eyes to glare at me. "Silver Quill is a strong, independent white mare who don't need no mare friend. So back your color clashing ass the fuck up off my lawn, you psychotic bitch. You liar. She needs me. You're just keeping her hostage 'cause you're evil. I guess there's not really that much going on up there in your noggin, hey?" I sarcastically ask. "And what is that supposed to mean? That you're a fucking idiot. Now get the hell off my lawn before I throw you off," she gasped. "Are you threatening me?" I menacingly popped my knuckles. She squared up to me and lifted her wings, ready to attack. Before I could hoop some ass, Silver grew some balls and stepped forward. "He's right, I am a strong, independent mare. And I don't need her to handle you for me." Cutie jumped forward and grabbed one of Silver's hooves and happily said, "Then come on, Sylvie, let's go." Silver just stood there for a moment before shaking her head and jerking her hoof away so she could back up next to me. "I'm not going anywhere with a moronic, psychopathic, monstrous, ugh, stupid little pony like you." Cutie stood there in silence for a few long seconds before blinking. "Sorry, what? I was too busy thinking up your wedding dress design. I think it's gonna be low cut with nothing underneath so I can get a good look at you the whole time." Neither of us had anything to really say to that. Silver looked to me for direction and I honestly blanked and just shrugged at her. "Now come on. We have so many kisses to make up." "Get off my lawn," Silver said. "But I wanna take you to our lawn." "I've found my lawn," Silver said. "This is it, and you're not welcome here." "I know, that's what I'm saying. We need to go so you can be on my lawn, where I am welcome. Then we can finally be together." "I don't want to be with you." "Well, yet. But you need to be with me. This is honestly kinda sad." "I'm just trying to do what's best for you, Sylvie. That thing is just trying to keep you under it and you're falling for its lies. Fight it, Sylvie. Fight it and marry me." Silver Quill finally sighed and looked at me. I nodded and said, "It's time to be mean." "Right," Cutie said. "Be mean to it. Between the two of us and my secret squirrel weapon, we can take that thing down." "Mean it is," Silver said with a shrug. Her eyes turned back to Cutie and she started being mean. "I hate you. You're repulsive. You're a beast of a mare. I wish I had never met you. You don't have a single redeeming quality. You're psychotic and stupid and you need to buck right off." Cutie stared in silence for a few seconds before looking at me for a moment. Her gaze quickly moved back to her lady love. "That's kind of funny there, honey," Cutie said. "You were looking at me when you said all those hurtful things about your ex-mistress. That's because I was talking to you. You are all of those hurtful things." Cutie stared at her in abject shock for a few seconds before one of her eyes twitched and she grinned. "I don't know what you mean, Sylvie. You can't think all that about me. You need me." "No, I don't. I don't need you and I don't want you. I just want you to go away and leave me alone. The silence went on for several long seconds before Cutie finally erupted into tears. How could you do this to me, Sylvie? Have you been listening to a thing I said? Silver asked. I've explained how I can do this to you in pretty good detail. I don't need you and I don't want you. Cutie finally wiped her tears away and glared at her betrayer. You know what this means, right? That you finally go the buck away. Silver asked. No. If I can't have you, no one can. Squirrel, go. The squirrel was asleep by that point and completely ignored her. When nothing happened after several long seconds, I slowly said, you need to leave. She finally flapped her wings and flung herself at me, holding both of her hooves out in front of her. Before she could get halfway to me, Aqua shot in and tackled her. She completely absorbed Cutie before morphing to her pony body and making her stop in place. The mare's face went from angry to horrified before settling on blank. Her completely blue eyes stared at us emotionlessly for a second before the mare's face twitched and finally grinned. I made a new friend, my lady, Aqua said through Cutie's mouth. It came out distorted because of the water. Aqua finally pulled away from the mare's face, though she kept two tendrils in her ears. That is so creepy, Silver muttered, finally pressing against my side. I know. Aqua said. This mare's mind is horrifically muddled. I can't believe Celestia did this to her. Wait, what? I ask. Well, she's been working to ruin your reputation for a while, Aqua said. Celestia muddled this mare's mind. The reason these houses were on the market is because they're cursed. All the nobles know about it because they keep up with news, but no outsiders would. Normally the mayor would have warned any potential buyers that the houses were haunted, but with the curse on her mind, she couldn't. She did her best to fight against it. All of her odd behaviors were warnings as she sought to free herself from Celestia's control. I don't get it, I said. How the hell did Celestia even do that? Now that I know what to look for. Ah. A mix of dark magic and voodoo. The dark magic allows someone to befuddle a mind, making someone seem like a ranting maniac. If used correctly, it can often lead to the cursed subject being placed in an asylum. The voodoo doll Celestia made allowed her to control Cutie Dream manually. If you combine them both, the doll can be placed on autopilot. To outsiders, the mare would seem to grow more and more insane. In her own mind, she was fighting a losing battle against a magical psychosis. I leaned back and crossed my arms. You know what, I'm honestly glad we decided to erase Celestia. It was about fucking time. So why didn't you tell us about this sooner? Cutie's body shrugged. There were more pressing things on my mind. And you didn't think saving someone Celestia fucked with was important? I ask. This random peon, she asked. Not in the grand scheme of things, no. There's so much in Celestia's mind that I honestly didn't even think to look further into it. But look, she's safe now. Isn't that what matters? You're the worst elemental ever. Aqua turned bright pink. Do I not serve you well, my lady? Stop being fucking creepy. I know you're doing it on purpose. She gasped in horror. I would never do that, mistress. I live to serve you and only you. I hate you so much, I sighed, shaking my head. Now who is this mare? Well, her name actually is Cutie Dream. She's actually light yellow with a pale red mane. I don't think you would like to meet her. Why? I ask. She's very dramatic. It would turn this into a scene as she broke down thanking us. Well, me. You were about to kill her. Yeah, I said. So, does she know that Celestia did this to her? And how much of the last few months will she remember? No, and all of it. All she'll know is that her mind was distorted. It should probably stay that way. Now, I'm going to go get breakfast, I said. I'm going to let you two deal with this. What? Why me? Silver demanded. Because I don't wanna. Have fun. I started walking off before they could complain. You can release Cutie when I get inside. Will do, Aqua replied. The instant I got inside, Kot latched onto my arm and started guiding me toward the table where Taya was now sitting. Apparently Kot had taken the time to put Taya's hair up in cute little pigtails. So what did Athena say? Kot asked. That I was welcome to do it there, along with a bunch of other very useful information. Anything you want to share, my little filly asked. No. Kot pulled a seat out next to my filly. I started to walk to her other side to pull my own chair out, but Taya used magic to pick me up and place me in the seat. Why do you people do this to me? And why do you try to ignore our kindness? Kot asked before kissing me on the cheek. Wait. Is that a squirrel? Oh shit, I forgot. It is a squirrel. That crazy bitch threw it at me and it just fell asleep in my hair. Kot snatched the rodent and cracked its neck before it could try to move. I'll let Spider know you brought him breakfast, she said, carrying the poor thing away. So what's for our breakfast? I asked. Muffins, my daughter replied. And then I suppose we're going to Ponyville. We're going to our house out there. I was hoping to catch Lyra or Bonbon before they left for the day, but then I got forced into eating breakfast. Muffins are good for you, Mommy. Ooh, maybe they'll put some hair on your chest. Before I could make an inappropriate comment about eating Sunny's hairy muffin, Watcher planted himself down next to me. It's good to see you again, my lady, he said. Yeah, I bet you like this little skirt, don't you? It certainly draws the eye. So I wanted to hear it from your own mouth. Is Celestia taken care of? She is, I said with a nod. She is now going to rule as a perfect little princess. Well. How's it feel to be the most powerful woman in Equestria? Pretty good. How goes the bunker? Zecora is confident that the entire mall area is clear of spirits now. We've sent a few scouting parties toward areas Flo remembers as having valuables, but the paths she remembers are blocked. Slow and steady, I said. If we have to, we can get more support from Celestia. Have the ghosts turned overly hostile? Not yet, but the elementals have gone much further than we did. They told us that dark things lurk deeper within. Well, my sword was capable of at least hurting them. Make sure the scouting teams carry something like it. What are your plans now? Watcher asked. As soon as breakfast is done, Taya and I are teleporting to Ponyville. When we're done there, we'll teleport back. Around noon, I'm going into the coma. I did not realize it would be so soon. Are you sure that's what you want, Nav? We can help you get through whatever is ailing you if you just let us. I'd rather get through my own problems. I'm done living like this. Also, I need time to heal after I cut all these extra limbs off. Nav, I get that you don't like them, but Discord told me that he's changing me to look more like him, and if it finishes before I get a soul, I become his wife for eternity. Let me know if you need help doing it painlessly, he said. Turns out that a great torture tactic is completely removing someone's limb without them even noticing, then waving it around in front of them. I think I got it covered, unless you just really want to cut some things off. Oh no, I love the tail, he said. We're all gonna miss it. I chose not to ask. Make sure some people check up on Celestia while I'm out of it, I said. She seemed stable when I saw her yesterday, but she's technically a brand new consciousness. Some of her behaviors might be unpredictable. That's where Twilight is right now, Taya said. Apparently she wanted to be here to greet you this morning, but got a letter before you woke up. So instead she just dropped the book off with Kot. Wow. I can't believe they both chose to wake up that early. They must really hate themselves. End of part 3.